No glare, fantastic. My name's Claudine Lewis. I'm a respiratory therapy student, and I'm going to go over some vent initiation with y'all, and a little bit of patient assessment that goes with that. So you're called to the ER, and they have an 18-year-old coming in. She was thrown off the back of a motorcycle. She is 5'4", and her ideal body weight's around 57 kilograms. She's breathing 12 times a minute. She's being bagged by the medics at this point in time, but has not been intubated. So she's got a lot of chest trauma. We're going to say she's got a flail chest on one side, just so that I have that scenario. No other reason. I don't want anything to fall off. So she's got a flail chest. She's 18 years old. She's supposed to weigh 57 kilograms. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. So the vents are all already set up here, so I don't have to do any checks or anything like that. That would be really bad in an emergency setting. So we're going to start off with a respiratory rate of 12. She's 18 years old. She should have perfectly normal lungs, so we're going to start off with a pressure mode. Let's do that setting. Pressure control plus. 02. We're going to go up to 100. It's really easy to turn it down. Ah, shoot. Hit the wrong button. It's really easy to turn it down fast as opposed to have to go up because you can't go up fast enough. We're going to go 12. PP5, pressure 45. Respiratory time. Let's go 1 second. Yeah, 2-4. Right, pressure control plus. Like it. Reactivate. Patient element. Start. Start. Alarm limits. High rate's 35. Let's go 20. Apnea time. I know. I'm sorry. There we go. I gotta quit. And every time you have to silence an alarm, you have to restart down here. High minute ventilation 10. Let's go 8. Oh, way too slow. Higher airway pressure. Let's go 30. No, stop it. Come on. There we go. Limits. High CO2, low CO2. I don't have a CO2 detector on that. It's going to get very upset. That's my alarm. Perfect. All right. Fantastic. So we're going to watch her and see how she does. Why did I pick 11? I thought I picked 12. Let's go 12. All right. My time one. Okay, perfect. So these are my actual settings. Here's what's actually happening. Ruh-roh. I'm getting a tidal volume of 500, which is a lot more than I was hoping for. I was hoping for 350. Yep. All right. So, change your rate. Come here. 8.5. Oh, I can do half. That's funny. Never thought of doing half a breath. I know. So. There we go. Need to change my peak pressure. I'm going to take it down to 10. She's got nice healthy lungs. I dropped my tidal volume a little bit. Too much. Let's go 20. No, let's try 15. That works. There we go. I'm getting a tidal volume of about 265. That's close to the 300 I was shooting for. Perfect. That's critical line. It's like this one. Okay. How do you get rid of that? So yes, I know. Okay. There we go. I got to stop. Okay, well that won't work. Fantastic. So we will document all of our settings once they get her situated and everything kind of quiets down a little bit and you can see what she's actually doing on the vent. It's very difficult when they're first put on it and still not super sedated, being moved around by the nurses. It changes all the readings. So, got P5, that'll work. Press 45, that's fine. So, let her get settled down for a few minutes. You know, maybe an hour or so later, 30 minutes or so later, do an ABG so you can make sure you're ventilating appropriately. Since this was a trauma related and not like an onset, you're not really expecting a respiratory issue or a metabolic issue unless you're don't have your vents set right. Draw an ABG, do a chest x-ray, listen above the trachea for any kind of leakage, which is going to be like a gurgling sound, or because it could be secretions or airway going around the ET tube. Listen to both lungs, high and low. She's got a flail chest, so she's probably going to line up with a chest tube, so you're going to hear some really weird gurgles around the chest tube. Here at my facility, she would not stay here. She would be shipped off if at all possible. Check your cuff pressures with your handy manometer. Make sure you're right around 20. Mine's still green up to 30. I think this one's defective. Boop. Right. It says I need to add some. So we're gonna add some. Too much. It is defective. That's why I have it. Now that I don't have a CO2 detector. So let's say she's setting like 99% on these settings. We're going to turn the O2 down. Nope. We need to turn yellow. 90. It drops to 90. Reassess her, keep watching her, see how she does. Everything else is looking good. Frequency 8. I don't remember setting 8. I thought I set it at like 12. Maybe I set it at 8. No, it's supposed to be 12. Perfect. And it takes a minute for the FiO2 to actually drop. Perfect. And we'll just see how she does. Resistance of 9, compliance 29, an ventilation of 2.3. Not crazy about that. Total volume of 250. My goal is 350. Yeah. That's what 18 does. 20 might be too much. So this is kind of what you do. You sit and you watch and you see where your numbers end up and see if it's close to where you wanted to be when you did your math. You record all of this. You write down all your alarm settings, all your highs, all your lows, what your pressure's set at, which I'm going to stay at 18 because I'm getting a nice tidal volume of about 390. My goal was 350, which was kind of on the lower end of things. So 390 will be just great. My pressure support's 5, PEEP is 5. That'll work very well for an 18-year-old with flail chest. So, and I think I covered all the assessment and documentation. Here we have a computer system. I wish I could pull it up. It's actually very easy. And you start off with what vent you're using, which they only have one here. I don't know why it keeps asking. There is a different one for the PG&E, which I've never seen. It is also a Draeger. I just don't know what type of Draeger. And it's set specifically for the neonatal unit. And then you go, to what mode you have them on, and then your alarm settings and what they're actually doing versus what the vent is doing for them. And it will let me do some spontaneous breaths. It's fantastic. All right, I think that covers it. Thank y'all.